This is a CBS News special report. I'm John Dickerson. 2 American astronauts who've been at the International Space Station 9 months longer than originally planned are moments away from being back home. Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams, along with NASA astronaut Nick Hague and a Russian cosmonaut, are about to splash down off the coast of Florida. Wilmore and Williams were scheduled for an 8-day stay on the International Space Station after launching on Boeing's new Starliner spacecraft. Safety concerns on the mission to the space station forced NASA to return the Starliner to Earth remotely without the astronauts. Their ride back today is aboard a SpaceX capsule that had 2 empty seats for the astronauts when it launched back in September. Joining me now is Dr. Tom Marshburn. He is a former astronaut with 3 space flights under his belt, as well as the current chief astronaut and chief medical officer for Sierra Space. Dr. Marshburn also knows the astronauts personally. So, Doctor, you're the perfect person to have here. What are they going through right now?
Right now, they are supremely excited. They've just gone through this very, as we say, dynamic event, the reentry. As the spacecraft slows from going around Mach 25 times the speed of sound to about 350 miles an hour. As they go through all that friction of the atmosphere, the upper atmosphere, they're essentially the inside of a meteor. So they've been looking at the plasma flow around the outside. They've been hearing the wind as it builds up as they enter the atmosphere, and significantly feeling the effects of gravity for the first time in 6 months.
So dynamic event is a euphemism for a lot of stuff's going on.
Yeah, and a lot's going to happen still. They still need those parachutes to open, the drogues and the mains, and that's slow them down to the relatively gentle 25 miles an hour, which is the speed that they hit the water. So all that has to happen. Every time that chute's open, it's a huge impact. If you're an astronaut, it's an enormous amount of fun. You're spinning around and swinging. But yeah, the lot's coming up.
And they've been in a microgravity climate, and so now is the experience of coming back in, is that your first experience with real forces against the body that you haven't had for a while? And we should exactly look, right. If you can see there in the monitor, Doctor, what do we see right now?
So right now you're looking at the drogue chutes, those small chutes. The mains are too big. They would stop them too fast. Those drogue chutes are slowing them down from 345 to about 145 miles an hour. Still too fast. What you're going to see is those release and then the mains come up. So they've just had that experience of getting whipped around, and they're probably hollering in excitement. Especially because I know the chute's opened. The crew is monitoring that very closely. They can hit a button if they have to if the automatic system does not open the chutes, but nothing like that has happened before, but we trained for that.
And I interrupted you because I was asking about what it feels like after being in microgravity. Oh, and there we go. That's the 4.
There go the drogues, and the mains are starting to open, and you're going to see them pop open slowly. They reef, and that's deliberate. So that it keeps that deceleration at a good pace, so it doesn't rip the parachutes or cause too much impact to the astronauts. But they can feel that bump every time those chutes open a little more.
Gorgeous, like jellyfish in the ocean.
Exactly.
Quickly on the body, though, in terms of that gravity question, is it? I mean, it would feel extraordinary to a person who is acclimated to gravity, but does it feel more acute because of the experience in space?
Oh, very much so, very much so. Even 1G, after they land and they're experiencing it right now, just the 1G of what we're feeling right now sitting here, they're lying on their backs and feeling it there, but everything feels very heavy. Your cheeks, your face, all your muscles feel very heavy, as if some big, strange magnet was sucking you in, because I haven't felt this for 6 months.
Right. Senior national correspondent Mark Strassman is in Houston at the Johnson Space Center. So, Mark, what's it look like to you from here, and what's next?
It looks picture perfect from what I can tell here, John. I mean, the 4 main chutes have opened, the 2 drogue chutes have opened, and at this point, we're just ready for a splashdown. I think it's important to point out here, too, there's a reason why we're covering this return in a special report. Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore are coming back to Earth after 9 months in space, arguably as America's most famous astronauts. I mean, there really is nobody even close, maybe Buzz Aldrin. And millions of people have followed their saga. And many of them have only a passing interest in space. But I think everybody can relate to the idea of, okay, somebody leaves for an 8-day business trip and they end up spending 9 months. And the topper is they're orbiting 260 miles above Earth. I mean, that is an extraordinary story. So here we are watching the return of these 4 astronauts. And fingers crossed it all goes as well as it has so far.
Yes, indeed. Bill Harwood is also joining us, CBS News space consultant. Bill, picking up on Mark's point, given that there were delays in getting the Boeing Starliner up in the first place, then of course we know about the extended stay. Evaluate the return. It feels like, and as you know, I know very little, it feels like this has been quite a routine return without any bumps.
Yeah, John, it's been by the book from the moment they undocked very early this morning all the way through to this point where they just told the crew to brace for splashdown. It's just gone. I don't think it could have gone any better. I mean, this is how they write them up in the press kits.
And so now, what's the next step for them after this?
Rehabilitation, physical therapy. You know, when you spend this long in the absence of gravity, it takes quite a bit of time, as your guest can describe, to get your body back and get your land legs back, if you will. They're going to fly the crew.
Hold on, just let's listen in, Bill.
There we go.
And SpaceX Freedom, Splashdown. Good main release.
Copy, Splashdown. We see main chutes cut. Nick, Alex, Butch, Sunny, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home.
It is an amazing, what a ride. I see a capsule full of grins ear to ear.
We're listening to Commander Nick Hague there. Just listen in a second if he has more to say. All right, we're going to stand by in case.
And as you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation of Splashdown. Dragon Freedom has returned home, and NASA astronauts.
System safety verifications are in progress. We'll report back when recovery personnel are en route.
All right, well, we're going to report back with you, Dr. Marshburn. So what's that like?
Oh, that's wonderful. The seats are well designed. They're custom made for, or custom fit for each crew member. And so what they felt when they were going about 20 miles an hour when they hit the water, what they felt was just a pretty strong impact, but it's over very quickly. And it's a bit of a non-event. They prepared by crossing their arms over their chest, and then it's over. Now they're just bobbing around and experiencing this weird thing called gravity.
Right. And so about how long do you think, I mean, I guess every instance is different, but how long's the wait there before the taxi arrives?
Typically around between 20 and 40 minutes. You know, they're really good at determining where it's going to land, and so they can have their ship ready to come over. There's going to be a ship that comes up. It's got medical personnel, others to bring that spacecraft up onto the ship and then extract the astronaut.
And as an astronaut, is there a self-diagnostic process that starts the minute this happens, which is, okay, what am I going to report to the medical officials that come to tell them how I'm checking in with my various parts of the body?
Oh, sure, because everybody's different, especially Sasha, the Russian cosmonaut. He's never been in space before. He has no idea what he's going to feel. So you never know. Some people, about 1 in 5, feel pretty sick, actually. But everybody's a little bit different.
And so they'll be checked out. So so they go. They'll be checked out basically right away. Yes.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, once they get on the ship, the first checkout was hearing Nick's voice, which is always a great thing to hear. And the fact he said there's grins all around, that's the first check. They'll bring them up on the ship, the hatch will open, and you'll actually see the flight surgeon stick his head in, or her head in, and actually point to each crew member and ask them exactly how are you feeling. And are they good for, number one, having a camera come in, and number two, starting to pull them out.
And I know there's a protocol for everything. Yep. Even doing an interview with Suni, I loved going through the dance steps required to actually start communicating. Are there a specific set of steps in terms of that diagnostic, ask a specific question, seek a specific response?
Absolutely. I was an ER doc before I became an astronaut. And so typically that flight surgeon, at least in my experience, has been an ER doc. And they just come right in, and they've got they can do an entire neurologic and neuromuscular exam just in like 30 seconds.
And what does it feel like? We talked about they're getting used to gravity again after a period of time. I mean, do they walk or are they lifted out, or how?
So what we'll see is they'll actually be, they're able to unstrap, they're able to get out of their seat and onto a ramp and slide onto a gurney and be rolled over to the med bay. You'll see that whole process. Even if an astronaut's feeling good and wants to stand up, we usually ask them to not do that, because you never know until you stand up how you're going to feel, might fall over. But sometimes astronauts get really excited and they just want to hop out and say hi. But we'll see. They'll probably end up in the gurneys.
And who can blame them? Let's go back to Mark Strassman. Mark, so pick it up from here. What does the rest of the journey look like for Butch and Suni in particular? But you can give us the rundown for anybody you'd like.
Yeah, sure. Hoist out the capsule onto the recovery ship. From there, as you guys were talking about, they're examined by doctors to make sure everybody's doing okay. They'll be helicoptered to the Florida Panhandle, and from there, they're taken by NASA jet to Ellington Field here in Houston, about 10 miles from where I'm standing, where their families will be waiting for them, where their families, in a sense, have been waiting for them for the last 9 months. And then the adjustment period begins, right? I mean, we talked about the physical adjustment. And then for these two in particular, there's going to be another kind of adjustment, which is all the attention that they're going to get. I mean, it's unlike any astronaut really in recent memory. People want to hear from them how they did it, where they found the resilience to go on, what makes this such an extraordinary trip in their minds. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how they adjust physically and otherwise to being back on Earth.
That's right. I think you and I alone probably have about, and add Bill in there, it's about 100 questions. I hope they're ready. Let me go back to Bill Harwood. Bill, remind us again about, to me, this is such an amazing story of adaptation, when you're thrown a curveball. Just tell us the story a little bit. They went up there for a limited mission, and then they had to pivot. Remind everybody about the story and also what happened after they pivoted during that long period of being up at the ISS.
Yeah, they expected a mission lasting 8 to 10 days, and as you've discussed, they ran into those problems with the Boeing Starliner. NASA ultimately decided it would be less impact on the space station in terms of the science and the crew rotation schedule to keep them in orbit until they could come home on this Crew Dragon. And John, one of the interesting things about this flight, the crew has spent 286 days in orbit for this extended mission, and that sounds like a lot. It's longer than a normal mission, but the record is held by NASA astronaut Frank Rubio. He spent 371 days, more than a year in space, because the Russian spacecraft that launched him ran into problems. The Russians had to replace the spacecraft, just like what's happened here with the Starliner astronauts. And as a result, his 6-month mission was extended to just over a full year. So this has happened before to a NASA astronaut, but it's the first time it's happened with an American spacecraft like this. But it's certainly an interesting thing to take into consideration, how history repeats itself sometimes.
Indeed, and also that a good reminder that, in a sense, all astronauts know what they signed up for. In other words, adaptation is the name of the game. Bill, remind us all again, because I think we could all use the reminder that the ride home was always there for them. Explain why they didn't just take it and buzz home when they heard there was going to be a delay.
Yeah, this Starliner has been docked, this Crew Dragon has been docked at the station since last September. So, yes, they could have come down earlier, but if they had done that, all 4 have to come down at the same time. That would have left 1 astronaut aboard the space station, Don Pettit, to operate all of the myriad systems in the U.S. segment, handle research, which would virtually grind to a stop. And you wouldn't be able to do spacewalks for an emergency with just 1 crew member available. So it just made more sense to keep the crew up until they could come down on this flight. It'll get the crew rotation schedule back on track, and it minimizes the disruption to the research they carry out on board the station.
And we're going to turn back. Thank you, Bill. And we're going to turn back now to Dr. Tom Marshburn, who has been inside of one of those capsules. Doctor, what were they just doing in that fishing boat there on the outside?
Well, the spacecraft is clustered with small rockets, which are some propellant that can be toxic. And so basically they're coming up and just making sure the air around the capsule is safe, that others can get close to them. They have sensors, so they're inspecting the outside. It's interesting from the crew's perspective, the windows have burned over through reentry. You might get a glow through the windows, but they can't really see what's happening. But they can hear things. They can hear an engine motor, they can hear clunking on the outside, and that's actually really nice to hear. Sounds of Earth, a little water sloshing. And so, yeah, Earth is a good place, and it's good to be back.
Sounds. When you're in space, it's less cacophonous, right? What is it like to the ears to hear the sounds of Earth again?
Oh, it's wonderful. So they're not getting the full breadth of it yet, but they will. I can tell you from experience for the next weeks, months, and maybe years, sound of wind, the sound of rain on a roof or on your face, the feel of sand under your feet, and all those things, you learn to appreciate all those little things.
Is there a recommended regimen when you come back, to take advantage of an extraordinarily unique perspective on hearing, sight, smell? Is there, or is it every astronaut does it differently?
Oh, probably. Well, as you mentioned, we go through a regimen. And from a medical standpoint, has there been an impact on any of those senses? Hearing, a space station's fairly loud. There's always fans going because you have to keep the air moving up there. Eyesight can be affected, et cetera. So we're after all those medical tests. Then each astronaut is just going to be doing what they need to do to recover. Usually that's being at home, getting reacquainted with family and friends, taking it pretty easy because their recovery back to being able to, they're both athletes, or all four are athletes. Getting back to being an athlete could take months.
Right.
So we're working on that.
I'm going to come back to you in a moment, Doctor. Let's go back to Mark Strassman, who's covering this. Mark?
Well, speaking of the sounds that they will be hearing now, I can tell you the sounds from here, from the NASA building behind me, screams of delight when the splashdown happened. People relieved, of course, that Butch and Suni have made it back home. This is an interesting moment and mission for a lot of reasons, as we all know. Headlines followed the astronauts for the last 9 months, stranded in space, abandoned in space. I think it's important to point out that the astronauts have each told us over the last few months, they don't feel that way at all. They haven't felt that way, that they've enjoyed their extra time in space, that essentially this is their sweet spot, their opportunity to go to space, because not only because they want to live in the moment of space, but also because they don't know if they'll have that opportunity again. And so for Butch and Suni, I think, yes, it's important to come home. Yes, they want to reconnect with their families, obviously. But they have enjoyed their 9 months in space, and that's worth mentioning, too.
What a great point. Mark, to anyone who would think that they are unlucky, they are actually extra lucky to live a life under a sense of mission like that, where you're thrilled to get these extra sets of days. Speaking of a life where you have a sense of mission, give me a sense of the psychological return to Earth and the perspective you bring back from looking at a planet where there are no borders, where it looks maybe thin and fragile. What was that like? Oh, well, you summed it up pretty well, actually. I think all of us learn to appreciate the little things that every single day the Earth brings and our personal contacts with people. So at a very local level, you appreciate that so much more. And yes, we do have a desire for heads of state to all see this, because to your point, atmosphere is very thin. The Earth is incredibly beautiful, but we're just living on the skin of the Earth, and we're very fragile. We as just life in general, but us as a species. Right.
Sure.
That's so well put. Well, that does it for our coverage now. Our coverage will continue on CBS News 24/7 on your local news and tonight on the CBS Evening News. This has been a CBS News special report. I'm John Dickerson.